Hey everyone, I hope you are doing well in the face of everything that is going on. I know it's a hectic time and I know there's so much happening, but I'm grateful that you are here, and I just wanted to do a video, just a quick one today, to talk about how we react to and act based on the things that we can and can't change. This is a situation like no other we have ever faced, and there is so much going on, so many different aspects, and so many of these we can't control. But we tend to invest a lot of emotion, a lot of energy, a lot of thought into these things. And yes, it's important to stay, up to date, know the best protocol and those sorts of things. But it is also important that we don't give too much energy to the things that we cannot control. So for example, we can't control at the moment how other people are reacting. And this is just in general life as well, not just with coronavirus, but we can't control how other people act or react. We can't control what happens, for example, the spread of the virus globally, or how other countries are reacting, or how our own government's reacting, and all these sorts of things. We can't control these things, but we spend so much time and so much energy putting into them and assessing them and thinking about them, and it can get us down. It can just be a use of energy that could be used elsewhere, and it can sometimes make us feel overwhelmed, anxious, stressed, all these sorts of things. But actually, we shouldn't worry too much, and obviously it's easier said than done, but we shouldn't be thinking too much about what we cannot control, because by definition we can't change it. But what we can do is focus on what we can control, which is our own emotions, our own reactions, our behaviors, the things that we are doing. And whether that, we can control, in this instance, we can control self-isolation, making sure that we're not affecting others. We can control that we're not, bulk buying and hoarding and all these sorts of things. So we can control that. We can control our own behavior there. We can also continue to control the way we react and the information we consume. So for example, we can focus on consuming the news less if it's having a negative effect on us. There's a tendency to want to look at it every single hours, updates and everything like that. But for the most part, these updates won't inform us of anything new. It might just give us more anxiety, more fear, more stress, whatever it may be. But sometimes, you might find that knowing that things actually makes you empowered and makes you feel stronger. So do what feels right for you. But that was sort of my perspective of it. And what I found is that if I draw back from paying too much attention to the news and the media, where it's just being pressed in our faces and it's so just all-encompassing, it's everywhere, it can just be stressful and it can just be a bit too much sometimes. So be conscious of the media you're consuming, the people you're listening to, the things you're watching, and if they're not having a positive impact on you, then draw back from those and focus on what you can control, and bring in things that are drawing positivity and helping you on with what's happening right now. And although it's quite hard sometimes, we can control our actions and how we react to these things. Like, what we have essentially is feelings, and when these feelings are drawn out, they become emotions. But if we can start to, we can have feelings. We're human, we're gonna have feelings, and we're gonna have stresses, and sometimes we're gonna feel good, sometimes we're gonna feel hopeful, sometimes we're gonna feel blah, 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 all these different feelings. But we can choose how much attention to give it, and we can start to catch ourselves when we have feelings of fear, anxiety, and are focusing on these things that we can't control. And the more we catch ourselves, focusing on these things, the more we can pull ourselves out of that thought process and go back to what we can control, and go inwards and look at the things that will benefit us. So that may be listening to, for example, to give you positives here, you can start to, listen to music that uplifts you, listen to podcasts, start to maybe, if you have the capacity to, do something that you enjoy. There's a lot of stress and a lot of fear at the moment, and there's a lot of uncertainty. That is a big one. Uncertainty is a huge one at the moment. And again, we can't control what will happen in the future. If we, at this moment in time, were to, try and predict and think about all the things that this is going to knock on and have an effect on, we could be here for a long time, and it would just continue to compound. It would be, how long will this be going on for? When will will the borders close? Will I see X? All these sorts of things. you can see how it could just get carried away. But what we need to think at this time is being in the present and recognizing that if we're to stress about the future now, not only will we be stressing about it now up until the point that it happens, if it does happen, it may not even happen and we might be stressing about it. And that in itself, why would we want to put ourselves through that? So we need to just really be focused and intentional in where we place our focus, and focusing on what we can change and not so much on what we can't, and the things, and going down those thought processes. Yes, sometimes it will be natural to have those thought processes, but what we can do is our best to try and catch those thought processes, bring them back, and not let them control too much of what's going on now. But I understand this is a hard time. I understand that there's so much uncertainty. We don't really know what's happening. But I just wanted to let you know that try to focus on what you can control and invest your energy and your positivity and the things that you have into that. And try not to worry too much about what we can't control, because it's going to happen anyway for the most part. So I hope this video has been beneficial for you. I just wanted to get this out here, I guess. And I hope you have an amazing week. This is uncertain times. I'm doing a lot of stories at the moment, talking about things, and if you want to have a conversation, hit me up on Insta. Let me know your worries, what you're thinking, or the things that maybe overwhelm with you. We can discuss them in the comments below, and sort of just talk them out. Or let me know the things that you're going to be focusing on instead, and your behaviours that you can control, and what you're going to be focused on in this moment within yourself. But have an amazing week, and I'll see you here soon. Thank you.